Being honest with you, I'm just not motivated
I want you to
to.
be honest. Hey, what you got there? Is that a burger? Cardio for fat loss is a really inefficient way of doing it.
Myself quite lazy because this takes effort.
It does. It does. Get into whatever shape you wanted, eating whatever you wanted. You could do it eating burgers and pizza. That's nice. Wow. Yeah. Really good, actually.
My idea really is to feed people in a healthy way, but also give to the people who really need it. So the hungry, the homeless.
Know the calories?
Like I'm signed up to the gym. I try to go. I don't go as often as I should.
How often do you go?
3-4 times a week.
That's more than me.
After a month or two, I see a difference. Kind of gain it all back again, and sometimes even more than from when I started.
And now you're going to come have a chat with me in 6 months. When we come back here, you'll be having. I'll bring along one of these for you. You can show me what you've done.
The reverse one, man.
Yeah.
There's a lot of food out there in London, especially in London. There's a lot of food places, fast food places, but they lost the idea of making healthy food. You definitely go gym. You look after your health.
Yeah.
It's basically scrambled egg, and mixed with herbs and spices, and choice of meat, chicken, sausage, veg, or plain.
Okay.
But the base is actually scrambled egg.
Yeah.
So it's not a patty or fried chicken. It's just a patty out of scrambled egg, really.
Right. Okay. What's the story behind you kind of setting up this?
So the story really is when I moved to London, I saw food everywhere. And
where did you move from?
I used to live in Holland before.
Right. Okay.
Cool. There was not that many food places like you have in London. Like in one high street, you can have 20 different chicken shops, and it's very cheap as well. So it's very tempting for you to, instead of cooking, you just go to the corner shop or to the chicken shop and get your unhealthy chicken wings or burgers or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So in Holland, I was very active, was playing football and doing other sports. However, when I came here, I noticed there's not like a lot of clubs or things to do for the youth.
Yeah. And
neither did I do any sports here. But I was really into food. So the more I was getting, the more food I was having, the bigger I became, the more unhealthy I became, and more lazy as well. And that merged with just loving food. I was trying different types of food.
Yeah.
And my brother is actually a chef as well.
Oh, is he?
Yeah. So we were competing sometimes at home. We make better food. Yeah. And then one time I just went to this place and they were making scrambled egg, but it was so boring. It had just salt and pepper, which is quite boring, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, some people might like it.
I mean, I love my scrambled egg. I just put salt and pepper in it. If I'm being honest here, man,
See,
if I'm being honest.
Fair enough. But I think that's maybe because you have never experienced or tried any different scrambled eggs. So I was like, let me experience with it and experiment with it, and I tried different styles. And then eventually somebody was like, it needs something, like some bread.
Right, yeah.
So I was like, well, I love bread. I know it's bad, but I just love bread. I was like...
It's not bad, but we can get into that.
Okay. So I think when I put it in a bun, it became it looked like a burger. So warm it up in the pan, mix it with scrambled egg, and then get the scrambled egg into a burger. And that as simple as, a lot of people these days don't even know how to cook. And I wouldn't say this is cooking. This is just making food because cooking is like a chef in a kitchen, in a restaurant. To me, that's cooking. That's when you say, I'm a chef or I can cook. Well, anyone can make this. And it's a shame that these days people don't know how to cook or make food for themselves.
I agree, man.
And that is the reason they would go out and get this unhealthy stuff.
Yeah.
And I think that should just stop.
Okay.
But the other thing to it is this is so cheap to make. Eggs are really cheap.
Yeah.
And the ingredients that go into it, tomatoes, mushrooms, or whatever you put in there, is really cheap. And I think these big corporations that make food, they just want to profit. So they make it really, even if they make it cheap, they would sell it for a lot, or they use ingredients that are really unhealthy, but they are cheap.
Yeah.
So my idea really is to feed people in a healthy way, but also give to the people who really need it. So the hungry, the homeless.
That's amazing.
Because it's so easy to feed these people.
I think it's a really cool like awesome, genuine goal
Yes.
of yours. I
Yes.
think it's very noble of you. So how do you plan to feed hungry people and help those in need? What's the...
The thing is, I think if you're going to be greedy and want to put all the profit in your pocket, at one point, you know, how much do you want to make?
Yeah.
There should be a limit, not necessarily a limit, but you need to remember there's other people who need it more than you. If I can fill my pockets and it could spill out, I mean, that whatever's spilling out, the extra, let's say, I can split it in half and feed people who need it. I
Yeah.
mean, it's so easy to feed people,
Yeah.
to help others. And
So-
I'm not trying to make this all about helping others, but really and truly, it's easy to do so. So why don't you?
Yeah. So
No.
would you think you'd have like a physical store that people would come to if they're in need, that sort of thing?
Yes. So ideally, to break it down, let's say, for example, I have 2 shops. Using these 2 shops, the profit of these shops could run a smaller third shop. This third shop could easily provide free school meals or free
Wow.
free food for the hungry.
Yeah.
Because other shops have done this before. I've seen
Okay.
like an idea where you walk into a shop and let's say, for example, I think it was a pizza or burger, I can't remember, but for every pizza you buy, you can pay like half of that, which would pay, you get like a sticky note and
Right.
you can stick it on the wall.
Yeah.
And anyone can walk in, take a sticky note and
Yeah, I think I've seen.
okay,
Yeah.
so how easy
Yeah.
is that?
Yeah.
So I think if eventually we have a store or 2, the profits of these stores could help the third store, or it doesn't have
Yeah.
to be a physical store. It could be like the profit of these shops could help
Yeah.
feed the hungry, really.
Awesome. That's, yeah, amazing. I'm very, I said, noble of you. It's a really
Thank you.
interesting, genuine thing to be trying to do.
I think it's very. It's not necessarily noble or genuine. It's like common sense.
Yeah.
It's really common sense, because why are you not helping others when you can? I mean, if you can't, that's one thing.
Yeah.
But if you really can, if you have money in your pocket and you fed your family, you paid the bills, you've got like your nice extra things that you want. Hey,
Yeah.
what else do you need? Why are you being so greedy? And at the end of the day, I don't want to sound like negative, but we're all gonna go one day. How nice
Yeah.
would it be to still give while you're not there anymore?
Fair enough.
And I think that's beautiful. So for me,
Yeah.
that's really important, to leave something behind when I'm not here anymore, to give to the people, and
Yeah.
that they remember me in a good way, you know?
Nice. So you're all day like cooking up, then trying out recipes. That must be pretty hard on the odd waistline.
As you can see, I don't look like you, unfortunately. But I mean, I wouldn't say that's because of the food I try. It's more the food that's around me. Like when you become lazy, as in cooking, when we're talking about cooking, I can't be asked to cook. You just order yourself a pizza or some fast food,
Yeah.
and 9 out of 10 times, it's not going to be healthy. So it's really hard to watch what you eat. And most food is processed. If it's not processed, you got fast food, which is also sort of processed. So it's really hard to be eating healthy, because if you want to eat healthy, it's going to cost you a lot. It's just too expensive to buy healthy food. That's what I think anyway. And
Why aren't you eating the food that you're making? Are you kind of sick of making it all day, and then it gets the end of the day and you're just like, I'd rather just order something?
I won't be bored of my food. However, I think it's more cravings. So I get a lot of cravings
Right.
where I just crave something, or I don't have time. Sometimes just don't have time to like going to the shop, and it's sometimes expensive as well. So yeah, sometimes the cost or time makes me pick the easier option, which is the unhealthy option. So that definitely affects the health.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's quite common with people.
Yeah.
Like really common. I mean, I'm not the personally biggest fan of like meal prep, like bodybuilding meal prep, where
Okay.
they're taking like Tupperwares of stuff to like, you know, like planning out like 6 days worth of food. It's all in the fridge, like stacks.
Yeah.
Like, but a little bit of preparation, like, you know, when you're going to be getting hungry,
Right.
and you know that you're going to be craving stuff. And often with the cravings, if you say go for a walk, like a 20-minute walk, or those cravings come in, if you wait 20 minutes and after that time, see how you're feeling,
Right.
and you're chances are you're probably not. Like, so if you get this like craving for, I really want to fucking like pizza.
Yeah.
Go for a walk, get outside, go do something, go distract yourself with whatever. And if you're still really craving that thing in 20 minutes, yeah, you might not be able to, like, you might have to go for it, right? But chances are in that time, you make a better decision. And if you're making a bad decision 5 times out of a week, and all of a sudden by doing a little thing, you've cut that decision down to 2 times a week. So you don't have to be perfect.
No, that makes sense.
But then you're on your way to making better choices. Positive self-talk you get from that, it just reinforces you wanting to do it, and you start wanting to give into those cravings less because you start seeing yourself like make some progress. You're
So
like
changing your routine.
changing a routine and a bit of like consistency. So if you know you're getting hungry at this time, a bit of planning of knowing what it is you're going to be eating at that time. So I think when people are like searching for something like, I'm really hungry, I need to eat, like what should, and thinking on the spot. And in that's really easy to like give in to like the apps, right? 100%. Uber Eats, whatever, and just like order a thing. Whereas if you know that, like, what's your favorite? What's your, other than like burgers or obviously making? What's your like? What do you like normally eat for dinner?
Like if we're talking about unhealthy stuff, or
no, just like healthy, reasonably healthy, like just your normal dinner meal.
I'm originally from Iraq, so Mediterranean food, Arabic food, contains a lot of rice. So most of our dishes are actually rice. And it has to go with some sort of chicken or meat.
So there you are. So like think around there, and that, and you have it all kind of like in your mind exactly kind of what you're having. Like I know I'm having this with, I know I'm having like 100 grams of rice with like 100 grams of chicken. And with you making your food, I would probably, like if you're going to be selling this stuff, people need to know what's in it. And you see restaurants now having their like calories on all the foods, right?
Correct.
So when you're making this food, I don't know if you like tracked food before, but trying to start educating yourself around the calories of the food. And so then even if you had you've made your like burger and you've made a new variety of it. You need to try it, obviously, to make sure it tastes good. But then if you know exactly how that's made, how many calories that thing is, then you can eat it guilt-free. So you said bread, like, oh, it's bad for you. It's not.
I always like gluten and stuff like that is bad for you, so I just assumed all the bread.
It's not. It's some people out there have like celiac disease, right, where they really can't go near it. Most of the gluten stuff, you eat a big bowl of pasta, you're gonna feel a bit shit. Right? Like that's like kind of normal. But it's fat loss and getting in shape. It's not about the what. It's how much. You can't escape how much is like fundamental. And so you could lose fat. You could get into whatever shape you wanted, eating whatever you wanted. You could do it eating burgers and pizza. It's going to be more difficult because you're going to be starving.
I can't even believe you saying it. Like it's not like I don't believe you. Don't get me wrong. It's just watching what you eat can be quite difficult, especially when the food is nice. Forget my food. Like my mom's food is perfect. So I wouldn't measure 100 grams of rice. Like she'll put like a whole plate of rice and you just carry on eating until you're full. Sometimes the food is so good, even when I'm full, I'll still eat. And at the end of the day, I think it's self-control. Like you said, change your routine and not just caving when you're craving.
And in that scenario, getting used to portion control. And if you know, so you're not going to be able to, as you said with your mum, track your calories all the time. Right? But if you have a sense throughout the day of how much you've eaten from a calorie, you don't even need to get as like detailed protein, carbs and fats. Like we're starting kind of like right square one basics here.
Okay.
If you get a sense of like, so far in the day I've had 1,000 calories.
Right.
You would approximately need, like 1,900 to about 2,100 calories to lose. That's like most guys.
Yeah.
That's where most sit. You then know I've got about 900 to 1,000 calories for this evening meal. And if on times where you are able to look at your food more detailed, where you're not being cooked for, you've got an evening at home, by yourself, you could make a similar meal to say what your mum makes. Right? Figure out the calories, like what 1,000 calories of that is. Put it on a plate. And then you know that when you're in a scenario where you're not in control of that sort of size of food, that portion is going to be what you need to eat. So then you don't reach back, because it's really hard when you have like food in front of you. I'm like honestly not saying this from a point of like being perfect. Like it's hard to do, right? But just getting a visual sense for you of like what those meal sizes are could be really beneficial.
I think this is where it gets to the point where you most people, including myself, forget other people. Myself, quite lazy, because this takes effort.
It does.
It's just I wouldn't think of it when I'm thinking food. When I'm craving food, I just cave. I just straight go for it, and I don't think about calories and portions. And that should be the right way. I agree with you, and makes sense what you're saying. 100%. It's just I think most people don't think of it like that. But if you start thinking of it, I think if you want to lose weight, this is the way to go. Yeah.
For you, so like being lazy. Right.
Yeah.
Do you train? Do you exercise? Are you trying to? Because you said used to, when you were younger, like doing stuff, and now back in London, like a bit less.
Yeah.
What are you doing from a health, fitness?
Okay, so I try to go to the gym. Like I'm signed up to the gym. I try to go. I don't go as often as I should.
How often do you go?
I would say 3-4 times a week.
It's more than me.
Oh, really?
I go once a week, man.
It doesn't look like it.
I train once a week.
Oh, no way.
You
look like you go to the gym a lot.
No.
I think maybe I do the wrong things at the gym. I like a lot of cardio more than weights. Weights for me doesn't do much. I really like to go on the bike, like spinning classes, or running for a while.
Why do you think weights doesn't work for you?
I just don't enjoy it as much. I give up a lot easier lifting weights. For example, let's say I'm trying to do a rep and let's say I can't, then I would just give up. However, when I'm running on the treadmill, I always push myself a little bit more. But that's just personally, like cardio, I enjoy it more. So I tend to do it more than weights.
So yeah, it's good to do things you enjoy, because it's going to make you do it more.
Yeah.
However, it reaches a point where if it's not getting you to where you want to be, you have to do things you don't necessarily enjoy, right? I'm sure there's parts of your business or this, where doing this burgers, that you don't like.
Of course,
but you know you have to do it.
That's a very good point. Yes.
And so with training, the best way to look at it is cardio for health, heart health, lung health.
Yeah.
It's important.
Yeah.
Yeah. But running cardio for fat loss is a really inefficient way of doing it, because you have to lose fat. You have to be in a calorie deficit every day, right? You have to eat less than. So that means if you can't do that, that means you're going to have to run every day. Yeah. Right? Because otherwise, then you're not going to be losing fat that day if you're not doing something.
Yeah.
And the problem with cardio is it makes you hungry.
That's true, actually. Yeah, I'm
make-
always hungry after the gym, so I'll eat probably what I just lost or something.
So yeah, so it all nets out. So if you're thinking, I'm going to go for a run to lose some fat,
Yeah.
burn some calories, then you come home and then you're hungry and you overeat,
Yes.
you'd have been better off not doing the cardio from a fat loss perspective.
Yeah, that
You'd have been
makes
better
sense.
off staying at home.
Yeah.
So the best thing, like, you know, the weather's glorious right now. Get out for walking, get those steps up. Like, use your iPhone, look at your steps
Yeah.
you're doing for a day. Whatever that average number is, just try and increase it.
Okay.
So, like, let's say, you know, it could be, I don't know what it is, but it could be 5,000 steps per day.
Right.
Try and get 10,000 a day and just do that regularly.
Yeah.
It makes such an unbelievable difference to fat loss. You can walk your way to fat loss. Trying to run your way to fat loss, it rarely works.
I think you're that's a very good point, because another thing is I've been to the gym where I've worked really hard daily, whether it was weights or walking. It would work. Let's say after a month or two, I see difference, and then once I see the difference, I'm like, let's celebrate with a pizza or some food, and then I'll get back into that loop of more food, less exercise, and then I kind of gain it all back again, and sometimes even more than from when I started.
Yeah. So if you know that's going to happen, I mean, it's all well and good. Like, yeah, you should be like celebrating progress, right?
Yeah. Probably not with the pizza, I guess. Every time.
It's more if that's what's happening. If you're making progress and then you're celebrating for that progress, and this is a recurring thing,
Yeah.
you shouldn't be doing it.
True.
You know,
True.
maybe push it further, push it a bit further.
Yeah.
And take then you can celebrate when you've gone way past that.
Yeah.
And you know you're in full in control, because because people like live in this like range, right? So they'll lose a bit of fat, get a bit better in shape, stop, go back to where they were, start again, and they never push below this line here. And so just getting below that line here, so then when you celebrate, you're back up at that line.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Right? Rather than back to where you started.
When you talk about that line, would you say to watch like your physical body, or would you look at the numbers on the scale? Because that kind of motivates me. When I look at the scale and I see I lose weight, that obviously motivates me. But at the same time, I know that if I was to do weights, I could see it physically, but not on the scale, because I would still gain something maybe.
Yeah, so muscle gain's slow.
Yeah.
Right, it takes a long time to build muscle. Fat loss is way quicker.
Okay.
So, and the scale is important for understanding the scale. So what you want to see is weigh yourself similar time every day in the morning. Go to the bathroom in the morning, weigh yourself to see that the amount you're eating is making you lose weight. And you'll see but what happens, you see a big drop of weight at the start. Right? It could be like 5 pounds.
A few kilos.
Right? And a few kilos. And then it like trickles off. Right? Slows down. And that's what will happen. You've got less food in you, you're eating less carbs, so they hold less water. Right? And just less food volume overall. So then you want to be seeing like 1 to 2 pounds of fat loss a week, but the body really likes staying the same. Right? And so it tricks you. It holds water. Right? So you then use the scale as a learning mechanism for yourself. Right? So you don't react to the scale weight, because sometimes you can be like perfect and your scale weight jumps up. For like you've had a saltier meal. Right? But often we think, oh, I must have overeaten, eaten too much food, this diet isn't working, and you just give up and go back to square one.
That's me. That's 100% me.
So learn and tracking calories is the best way to do this, because
like on an app or something.
Like using like MyFitnessPal, whatever. Because you know that you haven't overeaten. right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
And so then you start learning, like, but I'm still losing fat. I'm eating the calories I need to lose weight, and the scale's doing this. It looks like a
Yes.
crypto stock graph, honestly, when you're trying to, but you're looking
Yeah.
for the trend down.
Yeah.
So over weeks, months, you'll see that number come down, and you ignore the day-to-day fluctuations. And I just think for you, getting that rhythm of your food, some structure,
Yeah.
and whether it's you're eating the same breakfast, lunch every day, the same thing. So you know that you've got about this, whatever that size meal is in the evening, and then you can play around with that and start being able to then not just reach for more food. Go for walks. Yeah, go in, do some cardio.
Okay.
You need to weight train, man.
Weight train.
You,
Yeah, I'm gonna
like,
have to, man. After this, so I'm gonna have to.
You want to just go in to get stronger. And get a plan. There's no perfect plan. An imperfect plan done is better than a perfect plan that's not done, right?
True. That makes sense.
Imperfect action beats perfect inaction every single time.
True.
And just go in, pick up some heavy stuff, like your bench presses or like normal movements that you do in the gym. It can even be machines.
Okay.
In that like 6 to 8 rep range.
Okay.
And concentrate and get stronger. And you can still do like the spin classes, right? I'm not a fan of them personally, but like if you enjoy doing that, do it. But just recognize that you need to get stronger. It's healthy.
Yes.
It's healthy having more muscle. It's healthy being stronger.
Yeah. Of course.
And then 2, because if you just lose fat without building muscle, you look like you get to where you want to be fat loss wise. You look like a smaller version of yourself,
that makes sense.
as
Just
opposed
skinnier,
you need to like not you just look, so you won't look the way you want to.
True. No, that makes sense.
Where you just need to like build some muscle.
Yeah.
It's really simple. Like 2-3 times a week. 3 to 5 exercises a session. You don't need to create like 3 sets of 5 exercises 3 times a week with a plan, a Monday, Wednesday, Friday, whenever it is, an 2 upper body sessions, a lower body session.
Yeah.
Learn to squat, learn to do all that. Learn to squat, learn to deadlift, but you're not going to be crazy heavy on those when you're learning, right? So go on the leg press as well. And, just go in and start enjoying getting stronger.
Yeah.
Because going there and aimlessly doing bicep curls, it's boring as shit.
Yeah.
But then if you're there, like my bench press is going higher, you start enjoying getting stronger and you start enjoying shooting for new PRs in the gym.
Well, you see, that's another thing. Like, when you look at cardio, it's very simple. Treadmill, running. On the bike, you're just cycling.
Yeah.
But when it comes to weights, 9 out of 10 times, I genuinely don't know what I'm doing. Like, my posture might be wrong when I'm doing it, or just the reps, or which specific exercise works which muscle, or sometimes I'll do a certain exercise on a machine. I don't know, let's say, for example, one for shoulders, but I might be feeling it in the chest. So I assume that I'm doing something wrong.
Yeah.
That's another thing. Because I don't know what I'm doing in the gym, I'd rather stick to my cardio or just not do it at all.
So 2 options. One, I will send you a workout.
Okay. Sounds
right?
good.
That you can just follow.
Okay.
And you will not go far wrong with.
Okay, sounds good.
And then secondly, for exercises, your form, one, you can watch videos. There's so many videos on YouTube.
Yeah.
And then hire a trainer, right? Go get a trainer find a trainer who looks like he knows what he's doing.
You look like you know what you're doing. You're a trainer, so I found the right guy.
And then you get him to show you those exercises. Look at your form.
Yeah.
You don't need to necessarily have them forever.
No.
But like a couple, like 3 sessions of just showing you how to do these basic exercises, you can go away, because the gym
Yeah,
stuff
that's
is
true.
not that complicated. It seems like it is.
Seems really complicated.
It's not.
Like when I see some people in there, they know what they're doing, and they just go in and out, and they make it look really simple. But then when I try,
Yeah.
it's like I know I'm doing it wrong, because there's no way. Like if I was doing it right, I wouldn't look the way I look right now. So, yeah, definitely that's a good option actually, to ask somebody to help out.
Just to show you, or look at how some in-shape guys are doing it in the gym. Pay
Yeah.
attention. Everyone thinks gym guys are really intimidating. Actually, probably some of the biggest guy in the gym is probably the friendliest
That's
guy,
true. No,
right?
I agree with you.
And
That's
if
they are.
you were benching and you asked a big guy to give you a spot on the bench,
Yeah. Sure,
you
they
wouldn't be able
would,
to get
right?
rid of him for 20 minutes, because he'd be going through your form teaching how to bench,
I hope
man.
so. Yeah.
So
Yeah, you get a bit not shy necessarily, but like you said, they might be a bit intimidating when they like
yeah,
get all
but
pumped up.
they're
You don't want to
not.
ask.
Like,
Yeah.
people like to help,
Yeah,
man.
I'm
Like,
sure.
you're
Yeah.
trying to help the world
True.
with your food.
No, that
Feed
makes
hungry,
sense.
right?
Yeah.
I'm out here trying to help people like you who are struggling.
Get help.
People
Yeah.
like to help people.
True. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then,
That's true. That's
the
true.
gym's an intimidating place. I get it.
Yeah.
Even I don't like going to a brand new gym. I'm like
Yeah.
looking for I get it. But it's just, you need, start small, start basic. Even if you go in and do a shoulder press, right?
Okay.
And that's all you do for
Yeah.
that one thing, and then you go do some cardio,
Yeah.
and then you go in the next time and you just do that again, and you just get better at doing that exercise,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You're not looking for crazy results right off the bat.
Yeah.
Just get more comfortable in the gym,
Yeah.
learning how to push yourself, learning like how strong you are,
Yeah.
right?
Uh-huh.
And trying to beat it. So you do whatever the weight is for 6 reps. The next week, try and do that thing for 8.
What would you say like is a good way to beat your personal record? Because 9 out of 10 times, when I can't anymore, I just like, maybe if somebody else was there, they would say, one more, then I would. But myself, most of the times, like, this is enough, and I just leave. What would you say would help me keep going or pushing? Because sometimes I'm being honest with you, I'm just not
I
motivated
want you to be honest with me.
to do more. Like if I can't, I'm like, yeah, I can't, and that's it. What would you say would help?
So you push yourself on that exercise
I'm too kind to
near
myself, I guess.
to failure. You don't need to be like, "Ooh," and fail.
Right.
And then you get it in your mind that the next week that you're going to beat that.
So it's just your mind, you would say,
It
yeah?
is mindset. It is just
Yeah.
mindset.
Yeah. I guess that's the same with food. It's also mindset. Like even if you're craving something, just like you said, wait 20
Yeah.
minutes. Sometimes it's hard. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's hard to have that self-control. It's not like I'm going crazy and running into the fridge, but it's just like that voice in your head saying, it's all right, we'll start tomorrow, or it's just one piece of chocolate, or it's just one extra slice.
Yeah.
And it just messes up your thought process if you don't have it under control, I think.
Yeah, you want to just stop being so like all or nothing.
Yeah, that's definitely
right?
me, all or nothing.
That
yeah.
like having a little bit of chocolate hasn't derailed a diet, having a slice of pizza, hell, even having a whole pizza hasn't screwed things up.
Yeah.
You just got to get back on it
Yeah.
and into it. And then with the gym, finding enjoyment in getting stronger and making improvements. It's the same way you do with your business, how you're improving recipes, right? You're taking enjoyment from that process.
Yeah.
And if you start to enjoy the process of getting stronger, you start enjoying the process of dieting because you're seeing the weight come off.
True.
So you're seeing body fat come down. You're getting stronger. That means you're building muscle.
Yeah.
And you know that if all you have to do is just keep this up, and in 16 weeks or 3-4 months, you can look like a different person.
I hope so. I'm gonna try it.
you
I'm
could
gonna
look
try
like a
after this. I'm
different
definitely gonna
person.
try it. Maybe we can do another interview in 6 months or 3
I'd love
months.
to. Yeah.
That would be
So
cool,
yeah,
right?
you come
I'll
back.
follow your plan because you said you're
Yep.
gonna follow send me a plan.
Yeah.
I'll follow that, and
And in 6 months,
just
we
gonna.
come back here,
Sounds good.
and you are gonna
I'm
be
down for that.
you'll be having. I'll bring along one of these for you,
Sounds good. Sounds
and
good.
you can
Sounds good.
show me what you've done because
I'm up for it. I'm
Yeah.
up for a challenge, and this
Damn.
is something I need anyway.
Good.
I always like start and just quit halfway, or I don't reach the actual goal I'm aiming for. But now, hopefully, yeah, let's see how far you can push
Shake
me.
on it.
Sounds good, man.
See you in
Sounds
6 months.
good.